Hello everyone. Question is a company has developed a new Amazon RDS database application. The company must secure the RDS database credentials for encryption in transit and encryption at rest. The company also must rotate the credentials automatically on a regular basis. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A use AWS Systems Manager parameter store to store the database credentials. Configure automatic rotation of the credentials. Option B use AWS Secrets Manager to store the database credentials. Configure automatic rotation of the credentials. Option C store the database credentials in an Amazon S3 bucket that is configured with server-side encryption with S3 managed encryption keys SSE S3. Rotate the credentials with IAM database authentication. Option D store the database credentials in Amazon S3 Glacier and use S3 Glacier Vault Lock. Configure an AWS Lambda function to rotate credentials on a scheduled basis. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is a company's development team is designing an application using AWS Lambda and Amazon Elastic Container Service Amazon ECS. The development team needs to create IAM roles to support these systems. The company's security team wants to allow the developers to build IAM roles directly, but the security team wants to retain control over the permissions the developers can delegate to those roles. The development team needs access to more permissions than those required for applications' AWS services. The solution must minimize management overhead. How should the security team prevent privilege escalation for both teams? Option A enable AWS Cloud Trail. Create a Lambda function that monitors the event history for privilege escalation events and notifies the security team. Option B create a managed IAM policy for the permissions required. Reference the IAM policy as a permissions boundary within the development team's IAM role. Option C enable AWS organizations. Create an SCP that allows the IAM create user action but that has a condition that prevents API calls other than those required by the development team. Option D create an IAM policy with a deny on the IAM create user action and assign the policy to the development team. Use a ticket system to allow the developers to request new IAM roles for their applications. The IAM roles will then be created by the security team. Correct answer is option C. Question is a security engineer has enabled AWS Security Hub in their AWS account and has enabled the Central for Internet Security CIS AWS Foundation's compliance standard. The evaluation results on compliance are returned in the Security Hub console after several hours. The engineer wants to ensure that Security Hub can evaluate their resources for CIS AWS Foundation's compliance. Which steps should the security engineer take to meet these requirements? Option A add full Amazon Inspector IAM permissions to the Security Hub service role to allow it to perform the CIS compliance evaluation. Option B, ensure that AWS Trusted Advisor is enabled in the account and that the Security Hub service role has permissions to retrieve the Trusted Advisor security related recommended actions. Option C, ensure that AWS config is enabled in the account and that the required AWS config rules have been created for the CIS compliance evaluation. Option D, ensure that the correct trail in AWS CloudTrail has been configured for monitoring by Security Hub and that the Security Hub service role has permissions to perform the get object operation on CloudTrail's Amazon S3 bucket. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.